Connecticut. We went and saw them. They were actually really impressive.
Impersonator gang?
Well, there was like Gwen Stefani, there's Elton John, Garth Brooks, Michael Jackson. Um, I think maybe Bette Midler. I can't remember, but they were all really really good.
Yeah, Bette Midler's usually one of them.
But like the Elton John guy, he looked just like him. He was amazing, and he sounded. I mean, he
Yeah.
played piano. He sounded good. Garth Brooks guy he didn't look exactly like him, but he dressed like him, and he sounded good.
Dressed like him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Garth isn't that distinctive looking guy.
Nah, he's kind of a normal
Kind
guy.
of normal looking guy. The Gwen
Yeah.
Stefani chick looked just like her, sounded just like her, acted just like
Yeah.
her. Michael
I like
Jackson.
Yeah, Gwen Stefani is pretty attractive.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else. The Michael Jackson guy, he was pretty good. He wasn't the best Michael Jackson guy I've seen,
Yeah.
but he was
Have
good.
you seen a lot of
I've seen a couple.
Michael Jackson impersonators?
I actually have seen a few, couple. Few.
Really?
Yeah, there was one time that came to Mohegan Sun, and he did an arena show by himself. It was like a whole concert, and he was really good. And I was looking, got comp tickets to that, so I took Jack to see that. And we didn't make it very long before Jack decided it was too loud. He had enough. It was too loud, and it was really loud though. It was really weird loud for a concert, especially a Michael Jackson impersonator. But that guy was really impressive. And other than that guy, so I've seen two. But they were both really good. Yeah, that impersonator, I forget what they call them. They're from Vegas. But it's
Legend? So is it the
Legends.
Legend?
It was Legends. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah, they do that
I
somewhere.
I need
on
my
the
plug
strip.
bell. This is for plugging Legends.
Yeah, there you go. Ding.
Yeah, but
So.
what's that? Give him a boing.
Yeah, there you go. Boing. Ding.
Yeah, they were good. Now my Vegas story was actually it turned out okay, but it was bad for me for a while. I was in San Diego. My sister and brother-in-law had flown out to Vegas for like a weekend to gamble and everything. And so I drove out there to meet him. Met him and we hung out for the weekend, gambled and everything. Then I'm driving back, and I'm on Las Vegas Boulevard, and I need gas. I'm like a quarter of a tank. I need gas, and look at the gas prices, and they're like ridiculous right in the strip area. So I thought, well, I'll get on the interstate and get out a little bit out of the city, and I'll get gas then. There's nothing out of this. There's the Mojave Desert.
Yeah, you're on your
There
way
is
either.
nothing. And I'm driving and driving, and it's just desert. And a lot of traffic, too. And I keep going, and I'm getting low, really low on the gas. I'm like, oh, man, I don't see anything. There's no signs for gas. I get the light comes on. My little computer says, distance till empty, 0.
Oh.
Oh, my God, yeah. And I'm like, oh, man, this is not good. And so then I see up ahead, a gas station coming up. I'm like, okay, all I got to do is make it to this gas station. Pull off into the gas station. It's abandoned, closed, gone.
Abandoned.
I was like, are you kidding me? I wasted this precious gas for nothing. So I get back on there, I'm like, I'm not going to make it. There's no way I'm going to make it. And I think it said, next gas, like, I want to say it was like 30 miles.
Oh my
it was
gosh.
like a long way. I'm
Right.
like, I'm not going to make this. And I am, coasting on every hill. I'm trying to conserve every little bit I've got. Like the air, it's 105 degrees. I got the air conditioning off. I'm doing everything to conserve every little drop of gas. And I made it to the gas station. I don't know how I did it, but man, I really thought I was going to be stuck out there in the desert with no gas.
You made it? 30 miles?
I made it. Yeah, I made it to the gas. It was like, and I kept counting. It kept having the signs. I think it was someplace had like a giant frying pan or something, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
It was someplace, but it had gas, and it was even worse than on the strip. I think it was like $4.50 a gallon or something. It was at the point, what was I going to do? So.
Oh, yeah, you probably should have just got the gas.
No, hindsight. Yeah, thanks. But that same thing happened to me. So I made it and filled it up, and then I just drove back to San Diego. It was no problem. But man, I was really sweating it because one thing, it's one thing to you don't want to break down in the desert or run out of gas in the desert, because there's nobody there. But when there is somebody there, like there is between Los Angeles and Vegas, you don't want to do it because there's a ton of traffic and you're gonna block the traffic.
Right.
So it's like, oh man. But thank God I made it. And I had actually done a very similar thing, driving from Norfolk to San Diego with the family and moving across the country. This was in the Jeep Cherokee, same car. And we had we were in New Mexico, and we had left. We had stayed the night somewhere. I can't remember where, but we had stayed the night there. And Paige says, you should get gas. We had like 3/4 of a tank. She says you should get gas. Maybe it was like 5/8 a tank. She said you should get gas before we go. And I'm like, oh, we got plenty of gas. I'm not gonna stop. So we drive, and there's no gas. There's no nothing.
There's nothing.
There's nothing. It's just desert. And she's looking at me, that look you get, the glare. And I'm not even looking over because I know she's doing it. I could feel it.
You can feel it stare.
And I'm watching the little computer, and it's tick, 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 tick. It just tell me you're not going to make it. And she says, if we run out of gas out here, I'm going to kill you. I'm like, oh man, I wasn't worried about it.
You won't have to worry about the desert taking your life.
I wasn't worried about the actual being killed. It was more of the "I told you so."
Yeah.
And so it gets down to 0. The distance still empty 0. I'm like, oh man. And I'm thinking, okay, in this area we were going, it was kind of flat, but there'd be a hill every couple miles. There'd be a hill where you couldn't see over it to the other side. So I think,
right.
Get to the top of this hill, and I'll see a gas station. Get to the top of the hill, and there's nothing. As far as you could see, there's nothing. I'm like, oh my God. And we're heading to Roswell, which is Roswell, New Mexico, from Las Cruces, maybe? I don't remember. It was up.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right.
Because it wasn't an interstate. It was like a state highway, and there was just nothing there. And and every hill, I'd just, please be a gas station. And there would be nothing. And she kept looking. And we'd crest the hill, and I'd put it into neutral and just coast as long as I could and pop it back into gear. And we rolled into Roswell, and I rolled into this gas station. I made it, and she was so pissed. Because she was, we both thought for sure we were going to run out of gas. But there couldn't have been much left in there.
Wow.
So that was...
What I like to do is when you get real close to empty like that is when you fill up the gas tank, you get to see how big your gas tank really is.
Oh yeah. It
like I think if they tell you have like a 10-gallon tank, you actually have a 12-gallon tank or something.
Well, you get the hose and everything, and it was either right at, like you said, it was either right at what the capacity is or a little bit more. And there was nothing in the tank. Usually, if you're on empty and you fill it up, usually there's still got a couple gallons there. Where you're not, after you filled it, you didn't fill the full capacity. You still had a couple gallons left, even though it was on empty.
Right.
This thing was empty.
It was empty.
It was empty. We had to be on fumes.
Oh yeah.
And that would have been.
That's always scary, though. I mean, it's kind of scary. I mean, I think normally, I'd rather be too hot than too cold,
Yes, definitely.
But in the case of if you're in a car, abandoned, I think I'd rather be too cold than too hot. Because you could.
Well, the grass is always greener. If you're too cold, you always think, I'd much rather be too hot than too cold. And if you're too hot, I'd much rather be cold right now than hot.
Right. But I think if you're in the stuck,
yeah, you can survive as long as you're not freezing. You can survive in the cold, but the heat's gonna dehydrate you.
Right, the heat's gonna get you.
In fact, there was a guy in, I don't know if you've read about this. A guy in, I think it was in Sweden, was buried in his car for a month in the snow.
Oh, I heard something about that.
He didn't have any food, didn't have any water, and he survived for a month with no food and water. And he had the snow to drink, but he had no food. And
what did he do? Just poop outside the window or something and throw it outside?
I don't. They didn't talk
about
a
little.
That's not the first thing that came to mind. It's an interesting question, though.
Oh, dude,
where did the poop go?
How do you do that, man?
I guess it would. I mean, it would freeze after a little bit because it was freezing cold. So, but he stayed warm. He did happen to have like a sleeping bag and blankets, I think, so he could keep himself warm, but no food, and he couldn't get out because his car was completely buried in snow.
So what do you do? Go off the? I remember hearing something about this.
He just stayed. He stayed in the car, and then a month later, the snow melted, and somebody found him. Like, wow. And they took him to the hospital, and he was okay. I mean, he was, obviously suffering from malnutrition and dehydration and everything.
Probably insanity.
Insanity, yeah. I don't know if his car was probably out of gas by that point, and he couldn't listen to the radio anymore. So.
Yeah. No listen to the Lenny and John show. Right. No Art Bell. Or the Swedish Art Bell. I always wonder if they have like the Swedish version of like a Rush Limbaugh or a Swedish version of like Art Bell.
I'm sure they must. Well, I'm sure they have the American version too, because with the internet now you can stream anything, and it must be so much better for them. They don't have to listen to their crazy foreign people talking. They can listen to the real American people.
Right.
Unless they don't have to listen to their fake Art Bell and their fake Lenny and John. I'm sure there's
fake Lenny and John.
I'm sure there's another Lenny and John out there somewhere. So you after the show tonight, are you hitting the tables again?
Yeah. Here's the crazy thing. I'm out of sync with everybody.
Sleep wise.
No. Those guys are hitting the table and winning money, and I'm.
Oh, you're losing. You're a loser.
Yeah,
Are you betting the same thing they're betting?
No, I'm not there when they're playing.
Oh, you're playing by yourself.
And when I do, we do all right, but it's not like, it's. I think I'm one off. I don't know.
Is it the table or is it you? Is it just you throwing bad or is it?
I'm throwing like garbage. I can't.
Did you blow on the dice?
No.
Oh, maybe that could be the problem right there.
I can't get it together.
Try taking next time you're up for a roll. Grab the dice and just chuck them at the pit boss as hard as you can.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't get on the.
Can't get the feel.
Can't get it.
Yeah, it's hard.
If
you're not in that. If you're not in that groove, it's hard to get into it. It's frustrating. 7 and out. It's really frustrating. I know.
Yeah, dude. You know what the craziest things has happened? 2 times, I have not even made it to the wall and 7'd out. It's like I throw it, and there wasn't enough distance on it, and it didn't hit the back wall, and it was just a 7. It just like died 7. I'm like, what? On the first roll.
On the come out.
No, on the second.
Oh, second. Okay, second roll. Okay. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've hit a number, then 7. And gone around the table, hit a number, 7. It's the worst.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's a bad
feeling. Especially
feeling.
because I tend to pad my bet when I'm rolling because I have a lot of confidence myself.
Right. I used to.
Not anymore. Did you try the don't come? Or the don't pass?
No.
No, you didn't. You don't want to go there?
Do that. I don't do that.
That's rough. What about a different game? What about that big wheel with the dollar bills on it you spin? Have you tried that one?
I don't know. What is that? I just want to give me money.
Free money.
I want to try that. Yeah.
About,
I tell you what, though, there's a
games?
lot of. I don't play poker. I got beat up on 21 today too on blackjack.
Oh, you tried it?
Yeah, it's not my game, man.
I know it's because it's not. The thing is, it's not fun. If you play it the way people want you to play it, you might as well just walk away. Just tell them when to play it and when to hit and when to. And otherwise, because if you play that system, there's no fun to it. It's not like craps where anything could happen. You can bet, and there's so many different bets and everything, and everybody's getting enthusiastic about it. It's like a system, and it's just not fun. Especially when you're losing.
Right, and I ask you can ask the dealer, say, what should I do here?
Yeah.
She'll say, the book says you hit. I'm like, it's like a 16. I'm like, no, I don't. Why do you keep giving me these crappy? Like, they give me the first card, like a 3. Mm-hmm. What am I gonna do with this card? If it's just like frustrating.
I'll tell you the worst blackjack story I have. I was in Spain. And this is weird because we had to go to some casino. It was like way out in the middle of nowhere. We take a cab to the middle of nowhere to go to this casino, and there's nobody in it. It was really nice.